Coach, go ahead and talk about tonight's game.
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys' effort, man. Heck of a battle right there. I mean, I think they had 2 kill shots where they got us down 10 twice, and our guys responded both times. Something we hadn't seen all year, which is a massive growth point for us, shorthanded. I like the way our small ball lineup looked offensively. Just defensively, man, that's a really, really good offensive team over there, Utah State. And we won the possession battle by 19, and they still win the game because of how efficient they are. They make you pay for every defensive miscue. We fouled 5 jump shooters. You foul 1 less, different game, right? Those are mental mistakes. You lose the shooters that you can't lose 3 times in the second half, right? 2 by Dennis, 1 by Adam. You lose those shooters, like they make you pay. They didn't miss the shot, they make the shot. And that's what good teams do. That's what championship teams do. They make you pay for your defensive miscues. Our margin for error is extremely small. And I like the way our guys competed physically, but just mentally, the next step for these guys is to mentally compete by understanding, what we need to do, when we need to do it, what does the scouting report say, and why are we getting lost? And those things are individual. Those are individual accountability deals that guys have to have a defensive conscience for. But overall, man, I'm really proud of how that team competed. It got on Leland and Nas at halftime. Thought they needed to be more impactful. They responded. In a game like this, you needed everybody to contribute. And we got all but one. So it's you gotta almost be perfect against guys like this, San Diego State, Grand Canyon. You don't have any room for errors. We don't, especially. The bye week could come at a better time. We'll take Sunday off, Monday off, just rest, recover. This isn't spring break. Tuesday we'll get back after it. Wednesday we'll skill, and Thursday we'll start our normal prep for Border War number 2, which coming down a big stretch here with CSU, and they're close proximity. So I like that we're not traveling a ton, like CSU, Fresno at home, and then obviously a big road stretch at Grand Canyon, at Boise. But that next Border War is a big game for us, and as it always is.
First half, you had a key timeout, 22-21 score. What message did you have in the first half for your team?
Well, I don't want to use timeouts to stop runs. And that's what I have to do right now. I have to use timeouts to stop runs because our guys can't go fight on the court without they can't get out of it. And they got to stop the snowball. They got to go get a stop when you need it. And I'm using timeouts to stop runs, so I don't have timeouts to do special situations. Right? I got 1 left for the last 10 minutes of the game, but it's just stop runs. And a mature team, as we grow through this, these guys are going to learn that they got to go take the ownership, and otherwise that stuff usually balloons for us. I've seen that side, so I've learned as a coach, let them fight through it. Well, that 10 becomes a 10-0 run, becomes a 15-0 run, becomes a 27-4 run for San Diego State at home. I can't let that happen. And so they have to grow up in that aspect of they got to be tough enough to dial in and go get the stop to get to the media. And next thing I know, I'll just start having guys take one. But I can't have guys take fouls right now because we don't have enough bodies.
Nas said he didn't like that last shot that obviously ended up happening. Did you consider going for a 3 there?
Yeah, you don't win or lose the game on the last shot. You win or lose the game on all the things that we just talked about, fouling 5 jump shooters, losing guys on broken plays that you shouldn't lose, gambling on a reach up top that causes a defensive clap and they throw a pull behind shooter. I mean, I could go on and on about that. If I were to do it again, and we had a play drawn up, but this is part of being in those situations, these guys being in those situations, is that they have to get to the action that creates the advantage. Make or miss. I said, make or miss, we're getting in this action, and we didn't get in the action. So the action was designed to be able to create 2 reads, a downhill read and a kick-out read. And that downhill read has got to be at the rim, not a floater. And that's part of learning in this process is we have to be able, with 12 seconds, that's plenty of time to get to the action to create the advantage. Whether that was Leland or Nas, it was those 2 guys in the action, and they needed to create it. They needed to create the advantage. And we just took the ball one-on-one and then played, and they're a good defense when they're set, like most teams are. And refs aren't going to call fouls late. They're going to let you win or lose the game. But to that point, it was designed to let my players, my best players, Leland and Nas, make the read, whether it was one or the other having the ball, to win the game and or tie the game and send it to overtime.
What did you learn from this team? I mean, you just played them 10 days ago and you lost by 32. Granted, it was on the road, and here you're at home, but to take it down to the wire, final 10 seconds with a chance to win, down 4 players, 2 starters. I mean,
that last game at Utah State was strictly on me because there was a game I wanted to win after that game. Right, so that was on me, and that's why part of the process was it was dual purpose. Like we didn't show anything against those guys last time, and I've played against Calhoun enough to know like there's a certain way you can attack him. But what I learned was our guys can execute a really, really good game plan. It was a dialed-in game plan by these guys. They executed offensively to a T. We had them exactly where we wanted them in a lot of ways. It's just that defensive side of the ball. That's the difference between championship teams and teams that can win games. Is you want a championship team, you better defend. I mean, even though we shot the ball well, it was still 45%, 39% to 64 and 50, right? Like and we limited some threes from those guys, but they hit the big ones when it mattered. I learned that this team we have real grit, man. We have real resilience. We can get back up off the mat, and we can get back in the ring and fight again. And we can keep it close now. Now the next step is we got to steal them. We got to steal them. And we got to be a team that can go to someplace or play a good team that's in the top half of the league and steal one. And that's a step for our program. We didn't do it last year, and we're still fighting to do it this year. And that's a growth point. It's so hard to get to that tipping point where you believe and you know that you're good enough, and then you actually go do it. Once you get to that tipping point, and you actually that proof of concept, man, it manifests itself in so many ways. Where all these guys now we saw a little bit of that tonight. It was the first time playing a really good team where we actually kept it into the final possession, and that's a big proof of concept for us. Now we'd like to be on the other side of it, but hey, you could hold on to that stuff, but it's like pixie dust, It looks good right now. It's good to talk about. It sounds good, like we're right there, but it didn't actually happen. And so we got to still go to bed tonight knowing that we took the L.
Leland talked about using this game as fuel compared to the first time against Utah to strengthen throughout the rest of the season, the finish.
Yeah.
How's that feel as a coach to hear that message come from one of your leaders?
He's the right guy. He's always been the right guy. We're all allowed, we can have bad days. He doesn't have down days. He's had bad games, he's had bad days. We're all allowed to have bad days in life. Just he doesn't have down days as a leader. He always comes back. He always got a smile on his face. He's always leading the right way. It's like Garrett said the other day, we don't want to take Leland's leadership for granted. And guys are starting to come out of their shell a little bit. Caden Bennett's coming out of his shell a lot more. Like Nas finally had a little spark of who he was, got him back tonight a little bit. But that's when you watch a guy like Leland who's been super consistent, and he's one of 7 guys in the country right now, like the 7th active leading scorer in the country. Over 1,400 points, something over like 500 assists, something like that. Like that's a rare dude. I mean, you don't get to be around those players a lot, and we're lucky to have one of those, high level college basketball players in our program who's not only a great player but an unbelievable leader. It means the world to me because it's really hard to replace those guys. It's really hard to replace guys like Mattia, who just say the right thing and do the right thing every single day. I have no issues with these guys. It's awesome.
You mentioned challenging Nas and Leland at halftime. I mean, how much did this team miss Nas and what he was able to do at the end of this game?
I mean, we're playing against one of the better teams, the best, if not the best team in the league. It's a 2-point game. We're not there without Nas. So when Nas and Leland are right, like KB's been doing what he's been doing, like we're trying to find a rhythm here as we go down the stretch. That this is a good sign for me. It's our first time we've had 4 guys in double figures and lost, right? But it could have been just as equally a win. It could have been right there, right? Could have flipped it. So to me, the recipe for success still is the same.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sharing the basketball, 17 assists, 7 turnovers. The recipe for success for us is being able to play a team game where we trust each other. And I thought we put our 4 best players on the floor tonight. That was one thing that I've just thought about a lot when we're going through this injuries. Dennis been really good. Cade's been really good. Leland's been really good. Nas been really good. Just put our 4 best players out there, regardless of position, and see where the chips fall. And we've modified some of our offensive schemes and stuff like that, but really hard to guard 4 really good guards. You got to pick your poison. I thought Sim gave great minutes tonight. In a lot of ways, he was a +3. And then Keanu just does what Keanu does. He's solid. And, we're never going to get a ton out of our posts. Gavin is kind of our post guy who's been the 10 and 6 guy lately. So that hurts losing him. Naboo's a 5 rebound guy. Those things are big. Those little margins are big for us.
How much growth is Demarion showing now that he's in the small ball lineup and you're going to need him to play like he did tonight?
He's been playing well lately.
Yeah.
It's just the thing with Dennis that we're always trying to get to is I call him Dennis the Menace, man, because he's like, I'll just yell, Dennis, because we're trying to get him to lock in mentally. He's such a pest out there defensively, but he can also off the ball, like he lost his guy twice. It just flat out, right at the start of the second half, flat out just lost him. And like those things are where you're mentally locked in. And shoot around today, we have to get on about being locked in again. And it's just one of those things for his maturation process is how long can you stay focused? How long can you stay focused? And that if he can master the mind, like then he can become a real menace on the floor on both ends. If he can master the mind, because he's gifted. He's a gifted player.
What does it mean to you that you coached Cole Henry for 1 year and he's visiting you on a recruiting trip and wishes he would have played for you his whole career?
That's all I'm trying to do with players. I'm trying to flip them to be pokes for life.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you play for me 1 year, I want you to be best year of life. I want you to always say like I'm a Cowboy, not a Panther, right? And the fact that he's back here, he's a Cowboy for life. I love that guy. I know he's still got love for Northern Iowa, but I love when a guy's been here 1 year. And I love that you came and watched Grace's game this morning. I mean, that's Cowboy culture. You know, I want guys. You know, selfish. I want Obi Agnew to come back and be like, I'm a Cowboy. You know, like I want guys to be able to want to come back to this, because that's what you have to do. You have to embrace guys that played for you, whether it's a year or 2 years or 4 years, graduated, didn't graduate. You want guys to be able to come back and say, you know what, no, I really enjoyed that experience. I want to be a Cowboy, and that will mean a lot to me, because now it's just like when you ask these players, who's your favorite team? They don't tell you. They tell you their favorite player, because their favorite player has played on 10 different teams. LeBron, you know, whoever. Like the days of being a Larry Bird guy or a Jordan guy or a Magic guy or, you know, Kobe guy, like those days are over. So who's your favorite player? Well, you go all over the place. We want our program to be like my favorite program was the Cowboys program. That's what we want. As long as we're here, is to embrace everybody who wants to come back and honor the brown and gold because they were part of us. I take them all back. Everybody else might hold a grudge. I ain't gonna hold a grudge for somebody who served us for a year, 9 months, 2 years, whatever it is. I'm never gonna hold that grudge, because I love all of the guys that ever wear the brown and gold.
The Mountain West commissioner was here today. She said she wishes that she could wake up and have a tape of your motivational speech every morning. You thought about starting one of those?
Gloria's a beast. Okay, first of all, I love her. She's a stud. And so, if there's anybody who's got juice, she's got real juice, right? So like, Gloria gets after it now, and I'm a big fan. And so she can. I'll start a Wicks' Wisdom podcast or whatever or like a Wikipedia podcast where I just make up a bunch of false stuff and you guys can fact check me. You know, like I will make up my fun facts, talk about alien abductions, all sorts of different things. Okay, I think she'd probably prefer just a little bit, Monday morning motivation, cup of coffee and get after it, kick some ass. But we got a great leader at the top of the Mountain West. We're lucky to have her.
Good.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your bye week.
You're working on that 3-point shot for Nick.
Alex, you got no chance.